He hasn't given me something to believe in wholesale. But at the same time, I will look at it critically, right? Eddie has come in a few times this season. He has played 10 minutes, 7 minutes, 11 minutes in the English Premiership because Jesus starts ahead of him. Then he has played 90 minutes sometimes, 80 minutes in the Carabao Cup and the Europa League. But in those games, he plays with the second string team, not the first 11. He's not playing with the first 11. Now, as good as fantastic as Jesus is, we know if Jesus was playing with the second string team, even though we know individually Jesus is a different animal, he's a different beast. He's very skillful. His hold-up play is second to none. His touches, his trickery, dropping of shoulder, his pacey. Granted, these qualities are there. We can't debate that. We cannot actually deride that. But the fact remains that we've not seen Eddie play constantly with the first 11. Even though you can say last season, towards the end, when Lacazette was struggling, Eddie had decent games. He scored a few goals. Let's see him have an extended run with the starting 11, and we can actually judge, for me, more accurately whether Eddie can do a job or not. Now, I'm not saying Eddie at this moment is better than Jesus. It's Eddie Nketiah. This is your chance, and you have to just take it. You need to take this chance, regardless of the doubt of the majority of the Arsenal fans. We know at least Jesus will be out for the next 2 months, at least 2 months. So there's nothing we can do about Jesus. So let's relegate that conversation for another time, right? So let's deal with what is real, what is attainable, and what we have. Now, before we even get into the winter transfer window, we have 2 games against West Ham and Brighton. Yeah. So we are going to either play Eddie or Martinelli. And it's looking like we're going to play Eddie, provided he's not injured. We need to support Eddie. He's not our first choice striker. I understand. He's our second choice. Yes, his performances this season have been inconsistent, but there are nuances and context to those performances. Most of the performances have been in Europa League and in the Carabao Cup. And let's not forget, he has not had any extended run with the first 11 or starting 11. That is what a lot of us are actually not putting into consideration, including myself. I remember I made a video saying I don't really trust Eddie that much because he hasn't showed me, he hasn't given me something to believe in wholesale. But at the same time, I will look at it critically, right? Eddie has come in a few times this season. He has played 10 minutes, 7 minutes, 11 minutes in the English Premiership because Jesus starts ahead of him. Then he has played 90 minutes sometimes, 80 minutes in the Carabao Cup and the Europa League. But in those games, he plays with the second string team, not the first 11. He's not playing with the first 11. Now, as good as fantastic as Jesus is, we know if Jesus was playing with the second string team, even though we know individually Jesus is a different animal, he's a different beast. He's very skillful. His hold-up play is second to none. His touches, his trickery, dropping of shoulder, his pacey. Granted, these qualities are there. We can't debate that. We cannot actually deride that. But the fact remains that we've not seen Eddie play constantly with the first 11. Even though you can say last season, towards the end, when Lacazette was struggling, Eddie had decent games. He scored a few goals. Let's see him have an extended run with the starting 11, and we can actually judge, for me, more accurately whether Eddie can do a job or not. Now, I'm not saying Eddie at this moment is better than Jesus. It's clear as day that he is not. Now, he's still young, 23, he can still develop. But right now, he's not close in terms of technical ability, hold-up play, skill set level, movement, his transformation of the team. Eddie is not, it doesn't come close to Jesus. But Eddie can still do a job. We need to support him. Whether the Kroenkes, Edu Arteta is going to dip into the winter market and bring in a conventional striker or a wide forward, which is looking more likely, we still need to support Eddie. We still need to. I don't want us going to go and buy a bomb. Remember Perez, the guy we bought when we were desperate for a striker, or when we bought a desperate midfielder, the injured midfielder we bought a few years ago. We need to make sure we don't repeat or reenact those mistakes we've had in the past. I'm saying it again, Eddie is not as bad as majority of Arsenal fans are painting him. It might not be a cup of tea, which I get. But right now, Jesus is injured, and we have to play Eddie. He was given a new contract, a 5-year contract. He was given 100K per week. We need to support him. Eddie is a natural goal scorer. He might not have the skill set of Jesus, but he can score goals. In my opinion, he is more clinical in front of goal than Jesus. Now, Jesus can still improve on that. We know that. But his overall game, Jesus is a better quality player. He's an elite in terms of overall game. But in terms of being clinical in front of goal, I think Eddie shades it a little bit, and Eddie is still developing. And I think Eddie can do a good game or do a good job playing with the first 11, which is very key. Playing likes of Partey, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli. I think Eddie's game will improve. Those guys will complement him in a better level. So let's give Eddie a chance. I know it's not a cup of tea. I know Eddie might actually surprise us. I want him to surprise Arsenal fans. I want him to prove a lot of Arsenal fans wrong. I want to give him that chance. Give Eddie this chance. Let's see him have 4, 5, 6 games with the first 11. Let's see how far he can go. Let's see what he can do. Let's not write him off. Let's not forget against Chelsea last season. He was superb. Eddie is not as poor as we are painting. We are painting the wrong picture because we are used to seeing Jesus. So we cannot replicate on that Jesus. We can't, unfortunately. And even though we're going to the market, how many strikers of that quality will be available during the winter transfer window? Not much. Even though you are willing to pay a king's ransom, how many strikers of that quality will be available? And you think the Conquerors will actually approve of to spend a king's ransom on? I don't think that is sensible. I don't think that's objective. Let us be sensible. Let's have a realistic expectation of the team, of Edu and of Arteta. And let us trust Arteta. Arteta, I'm sure, will actually make a plan to play to Eddie's strengths. I think if the team play to Eddie's strength, Eddie can produce. Yeah, he can produce. I don't think it's as bad as you're painting him. And let's stop judging him by the yardstick of Jesus. I'm not saying we should not want him to be as good as Jesus or better, but these are two different players with different qualities. Jesus is elite at this moment. Eddie is not yet there. Eddie is still 23, still young. He can still get to that level. He might not be as good in terms of dribbling, but Eddie actually goes back. What would be the right word? He goes back past players rather. Eddie is a decent dribbler of players. His hold-up play is decent. It's not as good as Jesus, but he has a decent hold-up play. He scores goals. Is a fox in the box, in my opinion. Is a better fox in the box, in my opinion, than Jesus. Now, his pressing might not be as aggressive, as industrious, as relentless as Jesus, but he does a fantastic job pressing too. So let's not take that out. Eddie is not Jesus. Jesus is not Eddie. Jesus is injured. We have Eddie. Let us support him and let's see where it carries us. So, guys, please, let's give Eddie our support. I'm not writing off Arsenal from the title race. I think we can still win it, provided we add a wide forward and a midfielder. I think we'll be fine. I think I won't be surprised if Jesus comes back in the next 2 months. So he's not gone forever. He'll be back. And let's give Eddie a chance. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe, like the content. Make sure you turn on the notification bell on. Check your notification bell. If it's not on, turn them on. And do not forget to stick a like on the video. And I'll see you guys on the next one.